We are live finally for the second week in a row. I never thought I'd be live this many times in a row, believe it or not. I know it's only two, but we're here. I'm going to quickly get into chat in a minute. I'm just going to check to see if everything's alright. As you're all fully aware who watch this stream will know, last week I had a living nightmare, an absolute living nightmare. But we're sorted now. My picture is a little bit poor, but give it a second if you can. Where am I up to? Yeah. Give us a second if you can share the stream. We'd much appreciate it. I want to turn the brightness up because I'm a bit too dark. That'll do, I think. And that'll do. Right. I think it's a bit too bright. Definitely too bright because it's piss. But anyway, I'll quickly jump on the chat, see who's in. Pider's there as always. Keisha Cameron Jude and Blitz 101 says hello. Right. I want to quickly talk about a few things regarding Sunderland. What I'm probably late digging in anyway. It's just simply we were being a Monday what I picked to do the stream on. Other YouTubers do them on different days, so I thought this is the best day to do it really, where I'm not, you know, doing it at the same time. Then basically, so I'll talk about this. First things first, the table. Without even kicking a ball, was stayed top, believe it or not, and it's there. There's the table as it stands. It's us obviously in top. We haven't played a game. Accrington Stanley's played one game more than us. Burton, I think it's Burton. I'll double check, but I'm sure it's Burton D play tonight. Same as Sunderland under 23s have just kicked off as well. So if you're in the chat, can you, if you're watching the score, just let us know, because I like to keep an eye on it. And we're going to talk a few things regarding Sunderland. My line-up for at 8 o'clock kick off the Bolton Wanderers versus Burton Albion. So that's alright. I'll just quickly put this there a second. My picture's not the best on there, like, is it? No, it's not. It's, what can you do? Right. Where was that up to again? Yeah, 2 minutes. Hit the thumbs up and anyway, subscribe if you haven't. This is the table. We've got Sunderland first. Accrington Stanley are in second, like I was saying. Then Sheffield Wednesday, Wigan, Portsmouth and Wycombe Wanderers. Accrington Stanley played one more game than all of us. Us and them are on 12 points, the rest are on 10. So if Bolton Wanderers D win tonight, or even if the draw, will stay top, and then going into the weekend's game, the Saturday's game, it's going to be like a little 6-pointer at it. It's first v second, us versus Accrington Stanley, which I didn't think Accrington would have been. I know it's only 5 games in, but I keep jumping the gun. We would only be in 5 games in, but you know, Sunderland supporters and Sunderland in general, we do deserve a little bit of happiness, as we're being stuck in this league for far too long. So for me, I'm over the moon at the minute. The way it's gone at the club. Obviously, a lot of people, you know, you do get the whinges, but I'm gonna be happy. Why not? We're winning. Accrington Stanley in their last games, they beat Shrewsbury 1-0. Shrewsbury are struggling, but they did manage to come through that game and beat them 1-0. They won in the trophy. The game before that, though, they got beat off MK Dons away. But the games before that, the Big Crew away, which say they're doing alright away, like. Accrington beat Doncaster at home, and then they also beat Cambridge United at home. So they're like hit and miss really at away. Looking at it there, like some games they're winning at home, some games they're not. That pitch is really digging my ear. I'm gonna have to change it. I don't know if it's the same on stream. Give us a look when I'm watching it. Contrast needs to be changed. But anyway, like I was saying, I'm very happy the way things are going at the minute. I'm also with the moon with the transfers. I'll talk briefly about them as well, and then we'll I'll get back onto the chat and see who's in, crack on with a few people, rather than it just being, you know, me talking by myself. Oh, change the contrast. Right, the top goal scorers in the league up to now as well. I'll quickly mention them and all. Obviously it's Ross Stewart, but he's joint top with let's have a look. It's Henry I from Oxford. They both got 4. Also, very surprised is Stockton for Morecambe. He's also got 4 goals, and the one below that is Hardy on 3 goals for Plymouth Argyle. So for looking at it, Stewart's doing alright, Ali. I'm not going to mention any other names. I could easily mention a certain other person who's sort of struggling, and you'd probably know who I'm on about. Right, I'll get rid of the table because you've had a quick look at that, and then I'll do you know what? I'll get into my lineup. This is not a match preview. It's just me having a general talk about the game. About you know, transfers, how it went. We'll get into them in a minute. And the Wycombe game, we'll talk about that, and then we'll also talk about a few other things. Where's that going? My lineup. Why is it not showing? Give us a quick second. I'll get the lineup. For some reason, it's decided not to show. Right. Oh, fucking hell, did it? Right, I'll put right away, see what it does. Still out. So I'll put the lineup in and it's gone. Oh, do you know why I've done it? I think I have to do it again. It's because I've bastard, that was a good picture of an art. Wait, I'll try and put it in again. But I had my phone connected and I didn't do it properly. Basically, I'll just quickly put it in. I'll call it. Oh, here we go. There you go. Right. I'll just quickly get my lineup for you. For some reason, it's not letting us. There you are. Oh. Here. Where are you? Oh, it's not fucking there. Because I didn't put it in. I knew I didn't. But anyway, we'll talk about the Wycombe Wanderers game. For the first 15 minutes, I thought we were the better team. We were the second best team. And then Sunderland just grew into the game. And we got a goal through the run of play. It sort of knocked Wycombe a little bit, but I thought they still were pressing after that. And then the second goal just absolutely killed them off. And then we were the better team. The passing in our midfield, it's proper. It's like, I haven't seen passing like this for a very long time in a Sunderland team. Like, I would even say the Premier League days. I'm not saying like the Premier League quality. What I'm saying is the mediocre we've had in midfield, the sideways passing, the crabwood passing, as you would say. We've had all of that for years and years in League One, and the Championship was the worst season I've ever known as a Sunderland supporter. So we've never seen this like forward attack and little triangular passes, giving goals, 1-2s, bursting forward like Dan Neal did for his goal with Stewart. And he just had a lovely piercing pass off to the left and Stewart put it away. Stuff like that we haven't really seen in a Sunderland shirt, have we? And this is why I think I'm getting a bit excited and a bit carried away. Like, it's been 5 games in. It's what we're saying on the pitch. These are all young players, and they all want to show what they're about. And you haven't got people just coming for money. People coming to the latter years of the career and they just want little bit extra wages. These are hungry, young, talented professional footballers, like little young kids basically, and they want to prove themselves. And I think the majority of them are attacking this with both hands, and they are proving what the Wiley Johnson brought them to the club in the first place. I've seen on Twitter and all. What's another good positive thing, I think, and it just shows you the professionalism of the kid, is Dajiku, who we've just got from Union Berlin. He's training on his day off. He's not taking a day off and looking about the city or whatever. He's at the club training hard to try and, even get on the bench. I wouldn't mind, in a perfect world, if he was up to fit and up to scratch, I would put him in on Saturday, but he's not going to be fit. He hasn't played one game of professional football this season, so he's not going to be fit. He'll not be fit at all, but I think what you call he will be. Ronnie Hoffman, I'm going to call him from now on. Our goalkeeper, I think he will be fit, so that would be nice. Callum Fisher's just subscribed, and Stuart Beatty. Thanks very much. But let's get back onto it. Oh, another thing, and all everyone, we're just past 2,500 subscribers, which is class. Yeah, hey, listen, I'm over the moon when people watch these videos. Come on the chat, we'll have a little crack on and that. I don't know why he's do, but he's like to watch, so it's all credit to yous. We just need some sponsors up in here now. Take this YouTube channel to the next level. Jokes aside, I've got my notes I was going to talk about as well. The player who punched Luke 09, I can't remember his name. Can you comment below if you know? Can you remember his name? I can't remember his name, but he got a 3-match ban for punching him. When I was at the game, I got it on my vlogging anyway. Not the punch, Luke 09's reaction when he got off the floor. And I thought, at first reaction, I thought he hit him in the face. But looking at it, he just caught him in the shoulder. But it was the same shoulder what he dislocated the game before. So, you know, looking at it, was a 3-match ban worthy, or would you have thought it warranted more? I remember Luis Suarez getting the 8-match ban for biting. Who was it? Who was it again? I know I bit Chiellini, but he bit somebody else as well, didn't he? I think it was when he was played for Ajax. He bit a player at Ajax as well, but I'm sure he got an 8-match ban. But biting's a bit different, and I'll quickly jump on the chat, see what people are saying. I'll go back because I've been here, been on for a while. Jack Gilmore dropped in, says, "Hi mate, alright mate." Alan Robson's in the chat as well, says, "Alright Paul." Nick Muller, who I think you do Ipswich videos, didn't you mate? I think I'm on, well obviously he says Ipswich. Ipswich stuck here too, but very early days. You can only speak too soon. Exactly mate. Quickly regarding years, Paul Cook, obviously he's new manager, Andy, and he did buy a lot of, I'm saying him, I'm assuming it's him who deals with transfers, but he did buy a lot of League One players, and last season them League One players were really good. And I know you got, was it, oh am I thinking of? You've got a load of good players, Piggott, you got Fraser, who else was it? I think you got about 15 overall or something. I think he's brought a lot in, and Paul Cook's finding it hard to get them to gel together, and they're struggling at the minute in League One. But like you say, it's early days. It's very early. Look at Blackpool. Look what Blackpool done. At one point, they were about 8 games on. They had 8 games in hand, and then they went on a mint charge, and they went up and got into the championship basically. So that's all. You're right. It is early days, mate. Jody Craddock says, "Alright, Giles, mate, how you doing? I'm Sam, mate." Smithy says, "Hello, mate, how you doing?" Hanny95, "Hey, mucker." Our Pider's on the chat and our channel member, link in the description if you want to do that. I'm also very happy with Sunderland's condition at the moment. Strange, just over a month ago we was on show. That's exactly what I'm going to get on to now, and I'll get back onto the chat straight after. So I will get back on, don't worry. Right, the start of the window for me, right, it went like this. Shitting myself. No, it wasn't that. It was, what's happening? Now it's happening. Now it's happening. Do something, Sunderland. I think I added the Sunderland club once or twice and said, "Sign somebody, will yous?" Because it was getting beyond a joke. It was. Everybody agrees. It wasn't like just one or two impatient people. It was a lot of players, supporters were getting a bit worried. Then we'll come out and the calibre of signings what we were getting, it had everybody. I didn't care. There might have been one or two, maybe one or two, but it had a lot of fans worried. It did. 17-year-old, 32 plus 30-year-old players like Evans, and then Pritchard being injured a lot. Wait, I'm saying injured a lot. Injured. I think he had one or two bad injuries, and people were saying from Huddersfield side, the supporters and anywhere, he was just sitting there to collect his money. And it was like the likes of them, and I was worried. I was on the side of, not on the fence or not, like I was properly worried. I was thinking, shit, well, you're not getting promoted here, like. But then you just look at it, the way they've went about it. It had a lot of fans worried, but it was the right approach. Looking at it now in hindsight, it was easy for us to say, fucking hell, we're going to be in League One again. But looking at it now, it has worked out, and I'm so glad I'm proved wrong. I'll held my hands up, and I'll happily say I was proved wrong. It's just a worry that I've got a lot of them that's only on loan. We've got Broadhead, Alves, the 2 German lads. We've got Doyle, which is, you know, I kind of praise the lad enough. He's brought Flanagan's game on tenfold, in my opinion. So I have got a few on loan. And another thing I got worried about, what I wrote down before here, out of contracts as well. At the end of 2022, McGeady, Hilamaji, Wright, Gooch, O'Brien, and another thing I want to get on about O'Brien, Flanagan, Elliot Embleton, and the last one's Oliver Younger, who's playing tonight in under 23s. Jesus, I was looking at that thinking, oh please, I just hope we just nail at least the main priority for me there out of every single one of them. Well, put it this way. If we stay in League One, I'd be wanting to sign more of them players who I've just listed. And if we're going into the Championship, I'd only want to keep a few. And a lot of you might not agree, but the reason I would keep McGeady is just because I rate McGeady. I like him. You know, he's a bit of a like, in a sense, when people say he's a fan favourite of Luke 19's their fan favourite, it's McGeady for me. I would keep him for that reason. A bit... It's just my... do you know, I know a lot of people probably wouldn't, but I would keep him. Helamaji's only 23-year-old, I think. Didn't quote us on that, but I think he's only 23. And I know he can come on good. And granted, he's been out injured out for a while, but we could get him up to fit. He should be fit by now and anyway, shouldn't he? But I'm sure he is. He'll not be long knocking on the door, will he? But I keep Helamaji, McGeady for personal reasons, selfish reasons, and Elliot Embleton, and maybe Flanagan as cover, just off the basis how good Flanagan's been playing this season. But if we're steering League One, I'd keep McGee. I'd keep all of them. I would keep all of them. Maybe Wright might gone, but that's probably because he's not getting much game time and he won a gun anyway. But O'Brien, the last seconds, I know you all know this, but I haven't spoke about it on the channel. In the last seconds of the window, we tried to loan him out. I think it was to Doncaster. We tried to loan him out, and he was sent the wrong paperwork or something. So for me, a lad who's just scored a hat-trick against Blackpool and put us through the next round was expecting at least maybe to start the next game, which I knew he wouldn't. I even said personally, I think he's going to pick Gooch because he's got his favourites and Gooch is his favourite. And he didn't play O'Brien. And then when it comes to the window, the last day he tries to loan him out. He's confident he'll be shot to bits. Shot to bits. He tries his hardest. You know, he even gives his shirt away at the end of games, and he does put in the best. Granted, he's not the best ability-wise, but he does do a lot of work off the ball, and he scored a hat-trick for fuck's sake the other day. Surely that warrants a little, 20 minutes at least. But looking at it, he tried to loan him out. Fucking hell. No confidence whatsoever now if I was him, but is he going to play like a professional, not like Will Grigg? Is he going to just crack on, get on with the season and tackle the old 10-15 minutes here, there and everywhere? Also tonight, if you're interested in watching it or just flicking on, tell us the scores. The under 23s, Younger, Shona, who I really keep it. Do you like him? I keep an eye on him. He scored a few goals. Kimby and Ellis Taylor's playing tonight. So I'll quickly jump on the chat, see what people say now, because I've been waffling for a bit. We're going back. Where will be? Oh, my back's killing. Evening, Jazzy lad. Bolton to win tonight. Stay top. Do you know what? It's a refreshing change. It's a refreshing change, us being top, because this is the first time we've been top since we dropped down in the league. And I just hope we do manage. It's just such a shame. It's such a shame that this international break come when it did, because optimism was high, the fans were buzzing, the window was class. I put a poll on my community and 310 people out of, I don't know how many were. I picked, I think, 4 options. It was very poor, good, very good, or what was it? I'll quickly tell you. On my community I put poor, meh, good, very good, extraordinarily good, and we got very good, not extraordinarily good for certain reasons. Also, I've got a shout out for somebody in a minute. We got 56% very good, the rest was extraordinarily good, 26, and the rest was 2, 3, 13. So everybody's seemingly happy about the transfer window, and so was I. Especially when them 2 German kids come in. That goalkeeper, he's had no to look up to learn him, to nourish him, to show him the ropes, which way to basically gone on, you know what I mean? The best goalkeeper in the world, in my opinion. And That's knee better. You kind of get a better teacher than him. Andy's 6'4", very young. He'll be eager. I have no doubts that he will be in the starting lineup. I'll quickly try and get you my starting lineup. Got to unplug this fucking thing here. Something will get off when I do this. I can guarantee it. It always does when I'm messing about with this. You gone? Has it worked? Yes, it's worked. Right, I'll quickly get me lineup. Granted, listen, I keep saying granted all the time. Why the fuck am I saying that? Pardon me language. Like I was saying, this is me ideal lineup. I know it's not gonna happen, but this is what I would love to see. As the lad is getting plenty of minutes put in him. The training ground. He's not. Yeah, it's there. That's what I would love to see. Flash is coming on that side, is it there? That's what I would love to see, but I know it's not going to happen because he hasn't even played this season, so that's what I would like to see. When I decide to get the all right, that's my ideal one. But I know he'd put Gucci in instead of Dajaku, but I would love to see that. If he's putting, let's say he's got 2 weeks to get up to scratch, wasn't it? I think that's when it was. I think he's got 2 weeks to get up to scratch. He's not taking a day off. He's literally in the club, training. If he can get up to fitness, I'd probably put him on the bench, and obviously Gucci will come in from there. But I would like to see him some point against Accrington Stanley. Right, I'll go on further back. Right, where we're up to on the chat. It's Martin Allen says, looking good this year. I've watched lots of highlights. Sunderland hopefully will win it this year and get out of this division. Sunderland are better off with the young lads. I was just saying that earlier, mate. We are better off with the young lads simply because they show a hell of a lot more hunger and desire when they're on the pitch than a lot of players we've had in previous games, let's be honest. But the three in the midfield are really working for me. I know at 09, some people are like, he's chalk and cheese with him, you know, they're not 100% with him in the starting lineup. But for me, he does work well in front of the back four, especially when you've got Dan Neal and Elliot Emberton sprinting forward, trying to make them piercing passes. Look, 09 just stops back a little bit and just protects the back four. And he did that a lot against Wycombe Wanderers. He slung Akinfenwa all out a few times, and he made a diving John Terry-esque, what he done for Chelsea. I can't remember what game it was. I think it was Liverpool, where he dove across the line, the keeper's line, and tried to header it out. But obviously it got blocked, but he was willing to put his head on the line. So I do think he does a lot what with Gans unnoticed, you know what I mean? Where you've got to look at that's what I would like to see. Didn't get us wrong. Pritchard looks really good and talented when he comes on, and he can pick a shot out from right outside the box, and he can make the keeper work from that distance. So he's knocking on the door for me, Pritchard. The back four, that's the way I see it gone. Huggins has gone after try so hard to get in ahead of Winchester, which I cannot see anybody taking Winchester's spot at the minute. I know Huggins can play at left back, so if Serkin does play, has a good run of power games, I think Lee Johnson wouldn't hesitate to put him in there. Huggins, that's what I'm on about. Huggins is a player who we got from Leeds, and we did actually pay a fee for him, so he's not alone. And also, the two centre halves working really good together. I think, like I've said this previous, when Doyle's come in, Flanagan's up these games simple. Not because he feels as if he's going to get left out the squad and just being sat on the bench. I think he's done it because he's seen what hunger and desire and a player wanting to, better his career and do really well for the Sunderland shirt. So I think he's seen that and thought, Jesus, I need to seriously improve and up my game. And that's what he's done it for. And he's been one of our most improved players this season, considering how he played last season. Doyle Sell, they say I didn't fall in love with a lone player because you'll get your heart broken when they leave, and I think that's one of the cases here with Doyle. I think he's going to shut all our hearts when he goes back to Man City. I didn't think... I'm sure he's a 2-year loan. Comment below if you're not 100%, but I'm sure Doyle is a 2-year loan. And in goal, obviously I've been talking about Ronnie. Patterson for me, he hasn't put a foot wrong, right? He honestly hasn't. And I like the lad, but he doesn't command his box. Like, he's not one of them big goalkeepers who'll boss centre-backs about, or a big centre-forward and move them around. And he is quite small for a goalkeeper, but he's done nothing wrong. His distribution's really good. He's done some really good saves against Blackpool. Yates when he got in down low. So for me, it would be harsh to drop him out the team, but I really want to see what this Ronnie's about, what this Hoffman's about. And we're being 6'4". I would like to see what he's about, but I'm not. Patterson's done really well, and he hasn't put a foot wrong, but that's the way I would have it. Obviously, Serkin's our only recognised left back, so he would go in there. I know we have got Huggins, but Serkin's been playing alright. He hasn't set the world alight, but he hasn't done that wrong really for me. McGeady, I think McGeady is Lee Johnson's favourite. Like, it was same with Gooch, and he does tend to play these two players a lot, and I think he will do that against Accrington Stanley. But for me, we haven't got the McGeady of last season. But, imagine if we did get him firing on all cylinders now, with Ross Stewart scoring 4 already, and our midfield just being absolute immense going forward. I can only see McGeady's game improving, and when he does get back to, the way he was last season, I have no doubt that Ross Stewart's goal tally will climb and climb and climb. And that's my team, but I know it will be Gooch and Patterson. And the two lads will probably have to wait a little bit longer. The German kids I'm on about. Right, back on the chat. Just before I dig in, everyone, can you just quickly, where you're on, 15 likes if you just hit the thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't in any way. Be much appreciated if you could do that. And like, before I forget, what's his name? If you're still watching, mate. If not, I'll message him after and tell him in anyway. I put a little picture on of, like, I'm saying I'm live at 7, and I see there's any questions, just comment below, and I'll mention the question out on the live stream. And an Instagram account called Sunderland Daily, he asked, realistically, who would I have liked to have signed? And it would have been Jebson. I would like to have seen him come in, because that was a realistic option at one point for us. Like, there's no good me saying, like, any fucking Ronaldo, like some daft, thing like that, or any other players in the Premier League, Jesus, Harry Kane, just big and stupid like that. I'm going to, like, answer your question realistically, and it was Jebson. Sheffield United didn't want to sell him, because Everton come in with a £5 million bid, and they said no, because they want to keep them as a player. And where did he go in the end? Was it because he was linked with Doncaster and he was linked with Burton? Did he stay at Sheffield United, or did he find a club? But I would have loved him just for cover for Ross Stewart, because Will Grigg left. He went out on loan, and his contract does run out. Pardon me. Like, when his loan finishes, but wait, there's no way on God's green earth we'll offer him a new contract. But Sunderland Daily, that was the question. Pardon me, I keep burping off that drink. That was the question from him, and there's your answer, mate. It would have been Jebson, just for like a little bit extra cover. And the same, we went looking for him in the same approach as what I have with all these other young players. And all of the young players, in my opinion, have hit the ground running. So I would have had no doubt that would have been the same case with Jebson. But it didn't happen. Right, back on the chat. I quickly give that. And back over here. Oh, wait there. I know, I'll talk to you because I'm going on a bit too much. I'll catch back up to the chat. Frank Mutimer is in the chat, another channel member. We need to learn you how to use your emojis, mate, because you're still using the wrong ones. There's some emojis what you've got on as channel members, and if you've gone in, they're like Sunderland related. It's like FTM and that I've put on for you, so you can press them and the word FTM will pop up, but you keep using these just the standard ones what anybody can use, mate. Tom says, do you reckon Willis will still be as good as he was before when he got returns? I have no doubt he probably will, because he's had a few long-term injuries and come back strong, so I have no doubt. But will he pick up another long-term injury? History would say aye, but I hope he doesn't, because he was good when he was in the starting 11 for me, so I hope not. But I hope he does come back strong. But will he pick up another injury? Could he get Flanagan and Doyle out at the minute? That's the question. Because barely right, can it? Right, further back on the chat, Kieran Archer says, alright mate, what's going on? Alan Robinson also says Johnson's man management leaves a lot to desire with certain players. Tell that to some people on Twitter. Lee Wycombe says, extraordinarily good if you take in account the shifting of the old guard. I think you're talking about the transfers that I was mentioning earlier. All Sunderland says, is Burge still injured? I think he still is, but it was only a little knock, so I can't see him being out for any longer. But would you drop Patterson? That's the question. Or would now you put in Ronnie, meaning the goalkeeper? When I say Ronnie, I mean the goalkeeper. Would Ronnie come in now? It's one of them. Is Ronnie our number 2, where Burge is injured, and Patterson's number 1, and then when Burge comes back, who the fuck knows basically. But for me, I would love to see, like I've got up there, Ronnie. If you've just joined the stream, I know Dajaku win at start because he's had little game time, but if he can get up to fitness within the 2 weeks what he's had to get up into fitness, because he's training on his days off, you never know, I might get the odd 20 minutes, but I wouldn't mind saying that, because Gooch has had a bit of a frustrating start. Class against Wigan, and then just went off the boil since then. Cameron Phillips says, second year in containing on us going up, I've heard. That's second year. That's what it was, man. Cheers, Cameron Phillips. That's what it was. Doyle, if we're going up, this just shows you how highly rated he is at Man City. If we're going up into the Championship, we can have him for another year. If not, then they want him back. And also I seen a Man City supporter saying he's like a mini Laporte. I'd rather have him back in defence than Emerick Laporte anyway, which is mad. But it's just mad. I'll quickly talk about him. He's 17, like I say, he's 6'3", but he's got the footballing brain of a much older footballer, especially when he comes out of defence. His aerial ability is second to none. Didn't get us wrong, he makes the odd 1 or 2 mistakes when he's clearing it and it does go straight up in the air and then comes back down, but he clears the second ball. He manhandles speed, massive centre forwards. Akinfenwa didn't really, Akinfenwa, I'm saying, he wasn't really on the pitch long enough to trouble Doyle, but for me, Doyle's amazing. He's years above his age, in my opinion, and I think that's it. Everybody's opinion on him, really. It's just, if we're going up, I just hope to God we're going up so we can keep him for another year, and then just imagine we're bound straight back up from the Championship, because wasn't apparently amount to be £60 million war chest if we went up last season. So if we're going up this season, I know I'm jumping the gun, but would that money become available? Because then if we can go up into the Premier League, then we can offer a decent, like a proper massive fee for Doyle, because I think I know it's only 5 games in, I keep trying to tell myself this, but he looks amazing, simple as that. Right, back on the chat. Where what? Under 23s losing 2-0. That's a shame. In case Cameron Joe says Doyle on the bench for the England under 19s today. On the bench? He should be starting. Lee Hall says, Al Robson, I've seen you on a few YouTube channels with constant negativity. We're joined top with a game in the hand. We're doing well. Why are you complaining about Johnson's man management? What was that, chat? I'll try and find his comment, because I think he might have been to. You did say all that, to be honest. His man management. I think his man managing's been really good this season, let's be honest. Last season, I would have been 100% behind Alan now when we were trying to win the game against Lincoln. He brought Flanagan on instead of bringing Jordan Jones on to try and get another goal. That would have been fair enough, but this season I think his man management's been quite good. Obviously, you've he lost once, and that was a 1-0 against AFC Wimbledon. Burton away. But on that game, we played really good, and it was just a shame we couldn't get the ball in the back of the net. We had plenty of opportunities to do so, and on any other day we would have won that game. Our best performance for me, hands down, was Wigan, the first game of the season. I think that had a lot to do with the first game for fans, ex-Sunderland players to the stadium, etc. Away fans there as well, and the team played mint. Same with Gooch. That was his best game for me, and that was, I can't see us having like an absolute diabolical game. I think AFC Wimbledon was the game where we weren't at our best and we still managed to come away with all 3 points. So for me, I think his man management this season's been really good, mate. So I disagree with you on that. But everyone's got their own opinion, and the under-23s are now losing 3-0, sorry. Back on the chat, Thean's dropped in, says, alright Paul mate, alright sir mate. And SCFC, yes Charles, you're legend. No, you're the legends for coming in watching mate. All he is. What? Football fans complaining when we are winning, and top we complain when we are bottom. Fantastic, isn't it? It's crazy game football. Everybody, do you know what I love? People, the diversity of opinions. Like, you've got some people who are not 100% happy if you're top of the league, and you've got some people who are absolutely out of the moon, ecstatic that we're top of the league. But with me, I know what Sunderland like, and I've been putting up with this since I was a bairn for years and years, and I know what they're like. They build you up to let you down, and they've done it for years. But something feels different. It's like a party atmosphere when you get into the match. It's like something feels different in the team, the way they're playing. We haven't seen this for a long time in a Sunderland team. The mentality about them's changed. If we get 1 down, we'll come back and win, or we'll come back and draw. If it's 1-0, we're managing to see games off, and we're winning 1-0. We haven't drew any games this season, which has been a massive factor us not going up in previous seasons. And I think we're knocking that on the head now, and we're getting rid of that mentality. And I think a lot of players now in the team are fighting for Sunderland. You've got local lads playing, Dan Neal, Elliot Embleton, and for me, they want Sunderland to do well and succeed. I'm not saying other players didn't, but they just... Will Grigg, there's a perfect example. If you look at his interview as well, he was saying that he trained hard at Sunderland, which he didn't because Lee Johnson come out and called him out on it, which is class management skills in my opinion. Call a player out who's playing shite, and he called him out. And for me, we haven't got any players like that. I'm trying to think. The only player what I would say can get a bit frustrated in games is Gooch. That's it, but that's not a bad thing. Like, if the cross comes up to him, or it's a pass, he was attended to get him, but it went miles wide, he might strop a little bit, but that's good. It's to let the other player know, oh wait man, I wanted that feet. You know what I mean? So, but I haven't got any of that in the team anymore. We've got rid of a lot. Everything's seriously improved, and didn't want to get, like I was saying, I didn't want to get too excited, but I'm looking really optimistic about this season. 5 games in. Right, I'll quickly go back on the chat. Trevor Dudden, is that right, mate? Have I said it wrong? Sorry if I have. Has become a channel member. Thanks very much. You've got some emojis you can use, FTM and that. Alan Robinson dropped back one and says, I was making a comment about how Johnson has treated O'Brien. Ah, right, I get you now, mate. I agree with that situation. But you've got to understand, Lee Johnson does see these players more or less every day on the training pitch. And he's got his favourite players. He's got his certain ones, what he likes. He has been giving O'Brien 10 minutes in the league, even there and everywhere. But he does give him a starting chance against, like in the cup You know what I mean? So he tried to loan him out as well. It's just one of them things, Alan. I didn't think it's his type of player. You know, he doesn't. I wouldn't say he doesn't trust him because he put him on. He scored a hat trick. You know what I mean? And he does bring him on in the league. I would just say he's got his favourites. And at the minute, I know he plays like the second striker, O'Brien, like, you know, just off the striker. That's why I prefer him. Or he plays in Elliot Embleton's role. Or if we're going 3 flat instead of like Elliot Embleton just behind Ross Stewart, I still think there's players ahead of him in the league. So looking at it like that, I think you get what you're saying, mate. But for me, I think there's better players ahead of him. I know he scored a hat trick, but that was the cup, and Blackpool did fail the weaker teams, as did we. But I do get what you're saying on that sense when it comes to O'Brien. Jamie's dropped in. Another channel member says we just... What? Well, 2 minutes, I'll just get it back. Just hope we can keep away from the 1-1 results. Killed us in the last few seasons. I have just been saying that, mate. The last few seasons, the 1-1s did cost us. We couldn't beat teams where we should have been beaten, like teams down the bottom half of the table. I didn't want to name them because it's like, you know, being a bit disrespectful, but you know what I'm on about. We couldn't manage to beat them, and we're getting losing, dropping points. Sometimes we're even getting beat off them. So hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, we've put that to bed, and it's not going to happen anymore, because that did cost us going up. Just back on the chat, I think Thane was saying something. Where was he at? Thane said on the chat, aside from not making subs sooner against Burton, I can't say a bad word about Johnson. Long may it continue. And that is coming from somebody who, you know, he was on the fence a lot about Lee Johnson, and Lee Johnson sort of changed his mind. And so I agree with Thane now on that one now. This is coming from Nick. He says, when you hit a winning streak, deep down you say then when the losing streak is coming. Do you know what, this manager, I don't know if you know because you're Ipswich, he's got a nickname called Streaky. He tends to go on a really good winning streak, but then he'll go on a really bad losing streak. Not like drawing the odd one, literally losing streak. So hopefully this team is totally different from teams of past, and that's been put to bed, I hope to God. Back on the chat, Trevor says, yeah, spot on, mate, not many people get it right. Oh, get in. It's a change because I normally get them wrong. John Walker's dropped in and says, you're playing a great mate. Great mate. Good luck to tell you. Wait, I'll say that again. You're playing G, great mate. Good luck to you. Tell me, can Lincoln turn it around, buddy? What was that? John, can you tell me what's the crack with Chris Maguire? Because I went through, just out of interest, because I liked Maguire. He was one of the fans' favourite. I liked him. Out of interest, the other day I went through the games and I couldn't see Maguire on the starting lineup or the bench. Is he injured? Could you let us know, please, in the comments? Or anybody who knows? Somebody says O'Brien's not Sunderland standard. Thane, to be fair, O'Brien has got some really good passion about him really committed. He wants to do well, just not guaranteed to start all the time. That's how I see it. He does put a lot of effort in. Granted, he's not the best technically, but he does dig a lot of work off the ball. If you watch the game when the game's playing, if you just keep an eye on Brian, he does dig a lot. He pulls the defenders out and he does create space for the midfielders, like the attacking midfielders, and also the strikers as well. He's run as well for the goal where Daniel made that class pass. Was it him against? Was it the goal against Blackpool? I can't even think now. The goal against Blackpool, I'm sure it was his little run, his movement to keep onside, and then his run. I'm 100% sure it was, and then Dan Neal's amazing pass to kill the defence. Right, back on the chat. Thane says this season is going to be 2-1. All the time, fingers crossed. The new 1-1 made 2-1 on it apparently. Well, it was, but then it got stopped in its tracks quite quick. Paul G68 says, mate, we can get excited. A lot stars aligning. Got to be our season. It feels like it. It does feel like it. He's injured, mate. Oh, Chris Maguire got injured. Chris Maguire got injured for Lincoln, and that's why I couldn't see him in any of the starting lineups. And that's a shame. Is it a long-term injury, or is he just out for a little while? Because he was a little bit of a fan favourite at Sunderland, in my opinion. He wasn't anyway. Well, for me, he was. I did rate him. If you can do us a favour, it'd be much appreciated if you hit the thumbs up. I'm going to quickly check, see how many we got. I think it was 15 last time I checked. 15 thumbs up. We are now on... Well, 51. Oh, that's spot on. I didn't realise it was that much. SCFC says, Winchester, Neal and Stewart. It's crazy to think all... I know what you're going to say before I've even read the rest. Last season, the three second choice, in my opinion. They are the first three on the team sheet. Totally agree with you. For me, Reed, you know what I think that'll have been? Simply been... This wasn't Lee Johnson's team. I know he did bring Winchester in. He's worked with Winchester before, and he was a player he did trust. But you've got to look at it. Grant Ledbetter, he was like he's a SCF, he's a Sunderland legend, really, isn't he? And he's much more experienced in a higher level, like meaning the Premier League, Championship, League One, than Winchester was. Winchester came from the Championship, League Two, from, was it Forest Green? So for me, you know, he does rate him. He does trust the lad. It's just he thought, and he's on that with Grant Ledbetter being much more experienced that he came in, and who would have thought Winchester would have been a better right back than Luke O'Nien and Max Power combined. My opinion, he's been man of the match in a couple of games, and I was at the stadium when he hit that, and I thought, do you know what? That's similar to where Max Power ballooned it, and he put it. I took a lucky deflection, but everybody was shouting shoot. He shot, and I was just out. God. On my vlog, if you go back and have a look, I think I screamed. I shouldn't have really. A few swear words, but nonetheless, he's been really amazing there at right back, and I agree with that comment there. He should be on the starting lineup. Same with Stewart. There's no one better than Stewart up top at the minute. The Loch Ness Drogba, which he's come out in an interview and says he finds hilarious. He loves that nickname. We just need a song for him now, don't we? And who else did you mention? Was it Elliot Embleton? Give us a look. Dan Neal. Yeah, I like Dan Neal as well. But you know what? Gets us on to Josh Hawkes. Josh Hawkes probably could have done a big part here, there and everywhere in this league. But I think letting him go out on loan to Tranmere Rovers in League 2 is a master stroke, because last season was sent, and I didn't want him to go on. Elliot Embleton, I even said in my videos, I never wanted him to go out on loan. I was surprised when he did, but we sent him out on loan, and granted at the time Blackpool were nowhere, but they did have a lot of games in hand. I think it was 8 at one point, and we loaned him to Blackpool. And he was outstanding for them. And he was a big factor in how they got promoted. So I'm just glad the club have seen what happened in the past, and they haven't done the same problem this year. He came on, I can't remember what it was the Tranmere were playing, but he had an outstanding performance and he got an assist. So we've done the right thing by sending him down to League 2, where it wouldn't come back to bite us in the arse if we sent him to League 1, which, looking at Josh Hawkes, his ability, I think it could have been one of them. It could have been one of them things, because Elliot Embleton showed what he was worth, showed his ability, his everything above. And Lee Johnson went, "You're not getting sold. You're going to be in the starting 11 next season," and promised him that. And the experience what he got going out on loan at Blackpool, that's, it's done him good in the end. It was a right thing at the day in hindsight, but it might, he could have been the different. It could have been something different. What did get us going up, really? Looking at it, would he got us promoted? I think he would have. If we kept him that's what we missed. Goals from the midfield. And his goal he scored the other day against Wycombe Wanderers. Oh, it was class. But you know what? Did you see Little Gooch's? Did you see Little Gooch's flick? He played a little give and go with Gooch. And Gooch's little back heel flick thing, it was class. And then he puts it in the top corner with his left foot. He's obviously can use both feet, but he probably would have been the difference in us going up last season. So I'm so glad I haven't done that with Josh Hawkes. I'm glad they've sent him to League 2. Back on the chat. Give us a look. Pider says, are you happy with Sunderland kit? I'm considering buying one when the next paycheck comes in. This is the best shirt Sunderland have ever done, in my opinion. I know you can get the retro ones, what's really good. My favourite one of all time is the Vox one, the white one, with the green across one shoulder, I think it is. And it's like green stripe then with navy. And it's like got white X's, I think, the Vox one. That's my all-time favourite shirt. But just a normal league shirt, I'd say this is the best one we've had for absolute years upon years. Other than this one, the next one probably, can you remember the white one? What we had, the white and blue, a couple of seasons ago. Was it in the Championship or League One? I can't remember, but that one, I got that one, that was alright. I haven't got the away one yet, really, because I want to get into as many away games as I possibly can. So buying a Sunderland shirt for me at the minute, nah, it doesn't come into it yet, especially at 50 bar. I'd rather put the money towards an away day, which it's looking very likely, boys and girls, that I will be going to Fleetwood. Believe it or not, I will be going to Fleetwood, hopefully. Fingers crossed the guns reforms, but I think I might be getting tickets for Fleetwood. Holton Dave said, if Stewart gets 20 goals, I will show me arse. Fucking hell. I'll show me arse in Dogart's window. Well, I was saying, if to myself, I was just talking to her last night, and I just said it tongue in cheek, and she went, "What like you say on your stream tonight?" Thinking that I wouldn't say it, but if Sunderland get promoted, I was thinking about getting a Sunderland badge tattooed somewhere. But I want the. Have you seen the ones where it's like that, and you've got the Sunderland badge there and the England badge there, and they're like intertwined? I want them two together, but I might just get the Sunderland badge or a Black Cat or FCFC or something like that if we get promoted. I was just thinking that. I'm not digging it, so I didn't clip this and tap the piss out of us on Twitter and out like that. Right. Back on the chat. Where we're going. Honey95 says no club shops anymore. Are they not opening it at all? Tell you one thing, what I would love them to do is to open the fan zone again, because it's outside. They cannot see it out about COVID and out like that because it's outside. We're inside the stadiums. When we're inside the stadiums, just as close. So I would love the fan zone to open again. I would go for a couple of pints in the fan zone beforehand. You know what I mean? I'll quickly get rid of this, and I'll put this back up for you, for everyone. The table, because it's a bit more, you know. I've just took it down. What's it? It's not gone down for. Give us a second, see if it's working now. This is really winding me up, like. Right, this one here. I'll just delete it off. It's not even disappearing. What the hell? Oh, there you go. That's why. Tap it down. Oh, yeah, the table. Hey, top of the league. Right. Okay, back on the chat where I was up to. I was saying I would love the fan zone open. Obviously, probably meet a few people who watch me videos in there, get them on the vlogs and that. Do you know what? If you see us outside the stadium or inside the stadium, come up to me if you want to come on the channel. Like we'll talk about the game, the lineup, and I'll just ask you a few questions about the game. Just because I didn't like to approach people, me. You know, like some people didn't want to get on. So if I got up to them and say no, I'm like, oh, fucking hell. So it's one of them. If you want to come on, just come up and see us. You know, you can't miss us. I've got this cap on all the time. Well, I only wear it when I got the match. Didn't wear it on a normal day-to-day occasion. But there you go. And if you can't, smash the thumbs up again. What we're on. I'll flip back onto there. 158. Get over to 60. Right, where we're at. See, Jazzy, never heard of Dog Arts? I haven't. I've never heard of Dog Arts. I was like, where's that? Before I was even reading it, I was thinking, well, where the fuck's that? I've never heard that place before. And that was Geoff Holcroft who said it. Arthane's just gone, saying a bit, mate. He's going to watch the Bolton game. I might try and get it on. What's it on? Is it on Sky or like that? I'm going to actually. But I'll quickly talk to a few more people because there's a few people come on. Get the tattoo of the Loch Ness Drogba. Knee chance. What about when he leaves? You know what I mean? Knee way. Who can remember this one? Can you remember the Sunderland supporter who got bent as a reg plate and he paid about £8,000 for it? I'd have been devastated if I got that. Something like that. No, I would never get a player's name on. I wouldn't even get a player's name on my shirt because they can. But no, I'm not getting that. I'll just get the badge or like FTM or something like that. No, not FTM, like SAFC. Mick Burns has dropped in, says the 92 away shirt is one of my favourites. I think that's the green one. Alan Robertson says mine too, Mick. Jamie, a channel member, the link is in the description if you want to do that. Says if we win the FA Cup, I will get King Bioka 1 foot tattoo on me back. Oh man, do you know what? Everybody remember that. Come back on this if it happens. Evan says I sit right in front of you at the match. Well, turn round, say hello, get a picture, or even saying get a picture. The only reason I'm saying that is because there was loads of people last game. I felt shit at first because I was with our last the band. And I was thinking, why do you want a picture of me? I just did a few YouTube videos, man. But no, if some people who love to watch these videos, I've only learnt recently, like, when I was digging them before, I was inconsistent and I stopped digging them for a bit. And then a lot of people on messages and us on my Insta and my Twitter, and they were saying, where are you? Like, you know, we missed your video the weekend, what do you know, dig it for and stuff like that. And I've realised now that there is people out there who do love to watch them. Like, do you know, when you get that, this is why I'm trying to do this every Monday, because then people will be like, I know that's going to be coming on Monday. There's I love to watch, right? I know he's my, you know, just each to the arm. I've got a few motocross channels where I like to watch, obviously car ones as well, but I like to watch YouTuber called, I don't know if you've heard of him, Nepenthes. He does like FIFA and that, because I love to play FIFA myself, and he does the 194 challenge, which he still hasn't done. I just watch him all the time, and he's got like 2 million subscribers or something mental just off playing a game, and he's like 35 or 6 or something like that, so he's not like young, and he's making a good living off it. So you know what I'm saying now, you know what I mean? It's a place in Horton. I never heard of it, mate, honestly. I never get through that end of the way. My auntie lives through Horton, like she probably's now, but I didn't. I've never been through. Kevin Ball tattoo though, no, I couldn't. And a thumbs up, thanks very much. But I'm going to be off to watch the Bolton versus Burton game. Fingers crossed Bolton win, keeps us top. I'm buzzing that everyone's dropped in. If you follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and next live, I'll put like a post up saying I'll be live tonight at 7. Just go on it, leave a comment, I'll write it down, and then I'll mention you in this video, and we'll talk about the comment and that. Because obviously I gone through the chat quite a lot, and I do talk to practically everyone. I'm going to stop doing that too much and just talk about Sunderland related stuff on the channel, you know what I mean? Rather than just, I will bounce back and forwards from the chat, but just not as much. So that's about it for everyone. Thanks for everyone dropping in. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe, and thank you to the new channel member, which is, where is he? Trevor Dunnan. Thanks very much, mate. And I'll see you in my match preview for the Sunderland versus Accrington Stanley game. This is not a preview, it's just me cracking on with years. But this is a preview for, I'll do a preview for that game, and then obviously I'll do the live, what am I talking about? The match vlog, you know, after the game. And the next game, which I kind of stop smiling about, I'll be, hopefully, looks like I am going to Fleetwood game, and there'll be a match vlog after that. It'll be very late by the time I drive back. It'll be like 12 o'clock or something by the time I get back from that game, but it will be up late. rather than the next year. Right, I'm talking a load of shit now. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the thumbs up. And cheers to Jamie, mate. I'll see you live next Monday.